We're not for a bad series of events in relation to the 86 NHL playoffs between Hartford and Montreal. This guy would have been a Stanley Cup winner in the mid 80s, but what he's done for hockey, his extended family, it's very tremendous. So today we're going to be talking about a very talented coach and former NHL player, Kevin Dineen. He's a professional ice hockey coach, again, a former player. From 2021 to 2024, he was head coach of Utica Comets in the AHL. Dineen previously served as a head coach for the Panthers and assistant coach for the Blackhawks. Born in Quebec City, he came to major prominence in the 1980-81 season as a 17-year-old. He played with the St. Michael's Buzzers in Junior B hockey, where in 40 games he had 15 goals and 43 points, while getting 167 penalty minutes in 80-81. Now, he began his college career in 82 with the University of Denver Pioneers of the Western College Hockey Association. In his first season with the Pioneers, he had 10 goals and 20 assists in 27 games. 20 points in 27 games. He was then selected in the third round of the 82 NHL entry draft by the Hartford Whalers. Now, the 5'11", 190-pound right winger, good two-way player. He eventually decided to go back to the Pioneers for the 83 season, where he was named captain as a sophomore, and he saw his numbers increase to 16 counters and 29 points in 36 contests. Dineen played both forward and defense for the Pioneers during his two-year college career. Now, when Dineen spent the 84 hockey season with the Canadian national hockey team, he did play for them at the Olympics. In that campaign, he scored 5 goals and 16 points in 52 matches, as mostly a defensive forward. He also played in the 84 Winter Olympics, although he had no points in 7 games for Team Canada. Now, Dineen broke through in the 85 campaign with the Binghamton Whalers of the AHL, where he played in 25 contests, scoring 15 goals and 23 points. Eventually promoted to the Whalers, he made his NHL debut on December 3rd, 84 against the Canadiens. He finished the season in the NHL, scoring 25 goals and 41 points in 57 games with Hartford. However, the team failed to make the playoffs. But the next year, this was completely different. He stayed in the NHL for good in 86, where Dineen had 33 counters and 68 points in 57 contests, with Hartford, somewhat injury-plagued, finishing fourth in team scoring. In 10 playoff games, Dineen had a team-high 6 goals and 13 points, most against Montreal in that quarterfinal round, as Hartford upset the Quebec Nordiques in the first round before losing to Habs in the Adams Division Finals on Claude Lemieux's overtime counter in Game 7. Now, he had a breakout season with the Whalers in 87, scoring a team-high 40 counters and finishing second on the team with 79 points, helping Hartford win the Adams Division. However, in the playoffs, Dineen had only 2 goals and 3 points, as the Whalers were upset in the first round by the Nordiques. Eventually, they lost to Montreal. His production slipped in 88, as he had 25 goals and 50 points in 74 contests. However, in 6 playoff games, he led the team with 4 goals and 8 points. Now, Dineen had a career season in 89, as his offensive game was quite better, with 45 goals and 89 points to lead the club in scoring. However, in 4 playoff contests, Dineen had only 1 goal as the Whalers were swept in the first round. In 88 and 89, he was a 2-time All-Star. In 1990, Dineen saw his numbers slip to 25 counters and 66 points, but of course injury played again as he missed 13 games due to injuries during the season. In 6 playoff games, and this was a trend, he was getting a point-a-game pace. He had 3 goals and 5 points as the Whalers lost to Boston in the first round, doing a Toronto Maple Leaf, as you can see. Now, when he saw his production decrease again in 91 with only 17 goals and 47 points, which was the lowest point total since his rookie year in 85. In 6 playoff games, the Whalers again lost in the first round. He began the 92 season with the Whalers, where in 16 games he had 4 goals and 6 points. However, on November 13th, 91, in a very controversial deal, he was traded to the Philadelphia Flyers for Murray Craven and a 4th-round pick in the 92 NHL entry draft. But, of course, he rejoined with his father, Bill, who was then the Flyers head coach. Now, Dineen saw his production increase for the Flyers to finish the 92 season with 26 goals and 56 points in 65 contests with the Flyers. However, the bugaboo continued. The team failed to make the playoffs. His first full season with Philadelphia in 93, he had 35 goals, his highest total since 89, and finished with 63 points for 4th in team scoring, but Philly missed the playoffs once again. Now, Dineen was named the Flyers captain for 94. However, he saw his production decrease with only 19 goals and 42 points his lowest total since his rookie campaign. Once again, the Flyers missed the playoffs. Dineen resigned captaincy in September '94 in favor of course, Eric Lindros, who eventually ended up with the Flyers in a deal. Now, during the '95 NHL lockout, Dineen played with the Houston Aeros of the AHL, where he had 6 goals and 10 points in 17 contests. Now, when the NHL resumed play in January '95, he rejoined the Flyers. Unfortunately, he struggled all season long, scoring 8 goals and 13 points in 40 games. However, the Flyers did make the playoffs with Lindros at the helm. In 15 playoff contests, Dineen scored 6 goals and 10 points, helping the Flyers in Eastern Conference Finals. After the season, Dineen finished second for the Bill Masters and Memorial Trophy for dedication to the game. He started the '96 campaign with the Flyers, where he had no goals and 2 points in 26 games. Now, on December 28, '95, he traded Dineen back to Whalers for Hartford's 7th-round pick in the '97 NHL entry draft, or like a salary dump. Now, back with the Whalers. In return to Hartford, he scored 2 goals and 9 points in 20 games, as Hartford again missed the playoffs. Now, Hartford named Dineen as their team captain for the '97 campaign, and he responded with 19 counters, his highest total since '94, and 48 points. On April 13, '97, he scored the first goal the final goal in Whalers history, as Hartford defeated the Tampa Bay 2-1. Following the game, Dineen took a microphone and gave a brief speech thanking the Whalers fans for following and helping the team. Of course, all those years didn't make the playoffs. Now, when Hartford missed the playoffs and during this '97 offseason, the club relocated to North Carolina and became the Hurricanes. Now, Dineen remained the Hurricanes captain during '98, where he scored the first goal in Carolina's history. However, his production slipped to 7 goals and 23 points in 54 contests, as the Hurricanes again failed to qualify for the playoffs. Now, in '99, the Hurricanes named Keith Primo as team captain, as Dineen would be an AC. In 67 games, he had 8 goals and 18 points, helping the Hurricanes make the playoffs for the first time. In 6 playoff games, he recorded no points as the Hurricanes again fell to Boston Bruins. So it was a rough go for Hartford, Carolina. On September 1st, '99, he signed a free agent with the Senators for 2000. He's 1 season in Ottawa. He had 4 goals and 12 points in 67 contests. However, he's a healthy scratch and did not play in any playoff games for the Senators. At season end, Ottawa left Dineen unprotected for the expansion draft, where he was subsequently selected by the new Columbus Blue Jacket squad. His first season with Columbus in 2001, he had 8 goals and 15 points in 66 games, mostly as defensive forward, as Columbus finished 1 out of a playoff position. Now, he returned to the Blue Jackets in 2002, saw similar results, 5 goals and 13 points in 59 games, and the Blue Jackets again missed the playoffs. Dineen only played in 4 games during 2003 with Columbus, and on November 5th, he retired from hockey after 1,188 career contests. In his career, he recorded 355 goals and 760 points, while registering 2,229 penalty minutes. Now, on January 6, 2006, he had his Whalers number 11 honored by the AHL Hartford Wolfpack alongside former Whalers teammates Ron Francis and Ulf Samuelsson. The ceremony took place before the Portland Pirates, who was coaching at the time, and played against the Wolfpack in the AHL match. Now, Dineen participated with the Canadian national hockey team numerous times during his career. He spent the '84 season with the club and played in the Serio Olympics. In '85, he played with Team Canada at the '85 Worlds with 3 goals and 5 points in 10 games. He also represented Canada at the '87 Worlds with 4 counters and 6 points in 9 contests. At the '89 Worlds, he scored 3 goals and 10 points in 10 games, while at the '93 World Ice Hockey Championships, he had a goal and 3 points in 8 contests. He also represented the National Hockey League at Rendezvous 87 Quebec City. In a 2-game series against the Soviet Union, Dineen had a goal. Now, in summer of 2005, he was named the head coach for the Portland Pirates, which he stayed with for numerous campaigns with a strong 53, 19, and 5-3 record in 2006, but he lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. In 2008, another great campaign, 45, 26, 5-4, and he eventually left the Pirates in 2011 to become head coach of the Panthers of the NHL. His first season as head coach of the Panthers, he led the team to his first Southeast Division title in franchise history. This was the Panthers' first postseason appearance in 12 years. However, he lost in the first round to the Devils in 7 contests. On November 8, 2013, the Panthers fired Dineen and assistants Gordon Murphy and Craig Ramsey after a disappointing start to the 2014 season. Peter Horacek was named interim head coach. Now, in 2013, he was named head coach of Team Canada's women's national ice hockey squad. On February 20, 2004, he led the women to a fourth consecutive Olympic gold medal at the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi. Now, in 2014, he was named head coach of Canada's national men's under-18 squad for the 2014 World Under-18 Championships. The team won bronze, again with a very strong squad. Now, in the Blackhawks, up until 14-18, he was AC of the squad, joined the staff of Joel Quenneville, who had been his teammate for 6 seasons when he both played for the Whalers. As an AC for the Blackhawks, he won his first Stanley Cup in 2015. Unfortunately, on November 6, 2018, Dineen was fired again, along with Quenneville and Ulf Samuelsson, who was AC. Now, with the San Diego Gulls, in 2021, he was named, in 2019, he was named head coach, the AHL affiliate of the Anaheim Ducks, not to be confused with the IHL squad. He replaced Dallas Eakins, who became the Ducks head coach. Dineen's contract, unfortunately, was not renewed after he posted a 56-36-9 record over 2 seasons in charge of the Gulls. Now, he was eventually replaced with Joel Bouchard in July 2021. Now, on November 5th, 2021, he was hired as head coach of the AHL's Utica Comets, the affiliate for the Devils. On November 19, 2021, the Comets broke the record for longest win streak to start the season. Started season AHL history with 13 consecutive victories. Quite a run. Now, a big supporter of various charities outside of the world of hockey, of course. He's a very active spokesperson for a very important charity, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America. Now, the son of former NHL player Bill Dineen, who passed away a couple of years ago, and he has 4 brothers, Gord, Peter, Sean, and Jerry, and 1 sister, Rose. Although born in Canada, Dineen spent most of his youth in the States while his father played and coached professionally. Dineen and his wife Anne are the parents of 4 children, 2 beautiful daughters and 2 handsome sons. Now again, just to recap on his career, big penalty minute totals, scored more than 20 goals in numerous NHL seasons, 6 consecutive years of 25 goals or more. Hartford, he had 30, combined with the Flyers in 92 and 35-19. Use and arrows, his last big season was 97 with Hartford. Now, 1,188 games played, 2,229 minutes on penalties. Now, ironically about this, the 6 consecutive seasons where he made the playoffs with Hartford, he was a very effective postseason scorer. But in his last number of campaigns in the NHL, he only made the playoffs twice. Now, there was argument a few years ago that he should be in the NHL Hockey Hall of Fame as a coach and as a player. Like, he's borderline. His father, again, well-deserved all the accolades he got. I'll leave that to better people. But on the international level, 84, 85, 87 twice. He did play the Canada Cup in 87, 89, 93, 47 games for Team Canada, played the Olympics, Worlds, and Canada Cup, 12 goals, 15 assists, 27 points in 47 contests. Now, NHL coaching record again, Florida won first place division crown in 2012. Now, minor league again, won one division, one division title in Portland. Unfortunately, they lost in the conference finals twice. So he won one division title, first in the Atlantic. Now, with San Diego, he 30-19-6 and 26-17 and won. Of course, no Calder Cups in San Diego as well. So, I mean, Dineen, you used to call him a hat killer. If Dineen would have basically got another opportunity to score in Game 7, because Dineen was very hot in that series, and him not scoring in Game 7 cost Hartford the Cup and probably the franchise. But Ron Francis, Kevin Dineen, Samuelsson, Mike Louis, the Whale as we call it. You look at Mallrats, the famous, he's playing the video game. I think he took Hartford on his back, him and Ron Francis, Babbage and all that. I really believe he should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and here's why. For the last, half century, He's involved in all aspects of hockey. When he started in Junior B, he was a very, very well-respected prospect. This is Junior B hockey in 81. Now we're in 2025, so it's 45 years. Ladies and gentlemen, WCHA star, okay, Team Canada star, good star in the AHL and the NHL. The excuse me. He's lost years with the Flyers. It doesn't diminish him. He was one of the best players. Now, what really freaks me out, ladies and gentlemen, how in the hell he played 83 games in 93 for Philadelphia? Unless there was a delayed game, but like I said. But look at these totals. You're telling me 1,188 contests. So if you look at the rough stats on Dineen, NHL players with more than 1,000 games. Durability should be part of it. As it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, according to Wikipedia, list of NHL players with his total, he is well up there, 1,188. So as it stands right now in 2025 into 2026, okay, as it stands right now, he's a top 200 player. Guess who he's tied with? George Armstrong, Brian Bellows, Kevin Dineen, Dale Hawerchuk. So Bellows is not in the Hall of Fame, 17 seasons. Kevin Dineen, 19 seasons. So George is in the Hall of Fame, and so is Dale Hawerchuk. So I really think you look at Brian Bellows as well, the amount of success he's had, the Stanley Cup in Montreal in 93, 485 goals. I really think Brian Bellows should be in the Hall of Fame. So the durability is there. Now Bellows, with Minnesota, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight seasons with 30 goals. 40 goals in Montreal in 93 and then 33. Tampa Bay, another 31. So again, Bellows Stanley Cup winner with Montreal, and also a star with the Kitchener Rangers. So I think Dineen and both Brian Bellows should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's just me. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Kevin Dineen, the heart and soul of the Whalers, especially against their divisional rivals. The games he played in against Quebec and Boston and Montreal were legendary in Buffalo. So if you like what we're doing with our Hartford Whalers tribute podcast, let us know in a like, comment, subscribe, or share.